Wow, what a difference filming at night makes. So the sun isn't fucking going nova behind me. Um, anyway, so just got back from seeing Justice League. I was about to say the Justice League, but that's not how it's labeled. Anyway, so yeah, just got back from seeing Justice League, and it's not bad. It's not bad. You know, I'm. Oh, take that. There you go. Cool. My camera's sliding. Awesome. It's not bad. You know, you can tell they've learned their. This tripod, I swear to God. You can, am I like a female streamer? Like, oh hey, come watch me play this game. Sorry. Anyway, you can tell that they've learned their lesson from Batman v Superman. Oh my God, for the love of God. Okay. Anyway, you can tell they learned their lesson from Batman vs Superman and like good stuff. You heard me from like Wonder Woman and probably even a little bit more with like Suicide Squad and all that stuff about storytelling and you know all that stuff. Like I said, it's not bad. I wasn't watching it like disgruntled. I guess that would be the word because I remember watching Batman vs Superman just being like, oh my God, like kind of watching it like that and that whole our mother's name is Martha kind of thing, it's fine. Like I said, watching Suicide Squad, it was just like, and here we go. And then, of course, the great thing of watching, Wonder Woman was like, oh my God, it's a good movie. It's funny that you can kind of tell what shots were from reshoots. Like, they were kind of blatant, I think that part in the beginning where it's just like a cell phone video from like kids or something, I think that was a reshoot, mainly because like you can kind of tell with like Henry Cavill's like upper lip, because I don't know if you guys heard, like during reshoots he had a mustache because he had to keep it like contractually for like some other film he's working on, so you couldn't shave it, and so then they had to just like CGI that out, which like his upper lip at times just kind of looked like it like slightly flipped up just a little, like a minor hair lip kind of thing. It was very like the fact that, because I knew about the situation beforehand, I guess if I didn't know that they had to like CGI that out, I wouldn't have really been like looking here that hard. It's not that obvious. It's not that obvious, yet you can still tell. Someone I follow on Tumblr actually gave a good example, which is like the de-aging of Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen in X-Men 3, I think that's what it was, where it was like, they're human, but something is different. But anyway, so there was that, and then there was like, you've probably seen the shot because it's shirtless Jason Momoa, because he's in the water, and the water's like, about like, like navel deep or high or whatever, and he like turns and all that stuff, and when he gets to a close-up shot, because Jason Momoa has that hair, and it's not just like, it's kind of little wild, and you can kind of see like around the edges, it wasn't like chroma keyed perfectly, and the fact that like how it goes from, like a wide shot from, pretty high up here to water, and then it goes to like such an intense close-up, like bam bam, like more face, it's like here to, like, and so you can only see like a little bit of like the background, that is just like, like I said, like it's like that, you can tell, you're like, wow. And not the opening scene, but like the one right after that, not the exact one right after that, but like I guess Wonder Woman's opening scene. I feel like that was probably done during like reshoots or something. One, because that when they like premiered the new trailer after they were like, Joss Whedon is now part of the project, and people were like, wow, things are taking place during the day. And you see in the trailer where she's standing like at the statue, and she's, and it's like a room full of people, and it's like the bullet goes by, and she's like, what? That kind of stuff. I feel like that was probably done during reshoots after it was such like positivity towards the Wonder Woman movie, so they're probably like, let's put a little bit more of her in there, because it obvious that people seem to be very happy with her, and we want people to, be happy with this movie. And, because, like, she had to, like, save these people, fight the terrorists, and go really quick with the fucking gauntlets and all that stuff, to kind of be like, remember this shit? Remember this shit? Remember me? The one who made y'all some money? you know? But yeah, like, that I felt like they were just like, hey, let's let's put in some good stuff. What else was there? Like, my brain just stopped for a second. Yeah, it was mainly that. There was, like, some other parts here and there, you're just kind of like, that looked like that was filmed later on. Only, again, because, like, lighting was only slightly off, and mind you, this is very much nitpicking, and, and it wasn't one of those, like, oh, come on kind of thing. It was one of those where I was like, huh, just because, artist, observational, all that stuff, like, that's mainly why. And like I said, it's not bad. I know some people, like, I've seen online that they're like, it was ass and all that stuff. But in all honesty, this is like a 3 out of 5 stars and probably like a 5 to 6 out of 10 stars kind of thing. Like, I don't hate it, nor do I love it. It's, in all honesty, it's a rental. Like, it's a rental. It's not, don't fucking see it, blah, 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 blah. It's a rental. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, like, what's his name who played Flash? The Flash was fine, he was good, but he wasn't great. Because, like, the humor they used was a little bit different than what I'm used to, what they use for Flash. Like, the humor in the movie is more, like, kind of derpy, kind of, like, awkward humor, which is fine. It, like, it worked, for, like, the setting and all that stuff, and especially with that actor and all that stuff, it works with, like, his kind of personality. It's just, like, the type of humor was different, but again, that's nitpicking. It's not this whole, like, this is wrong, so negate the whole thing. There was one line he had that, like, it just sounded like me, where it's like, once Batman is, like, alive again, once Superman is alive again, and they're, like, freaking out. They're like, what do we do? Like, was it Superman? I forgot. There was some part where all of them are there. Yep, I remember the movie, and I just saw it. Like, he just said, like, a line, like, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, like, do we, like, show our bellies to him? And I'm like, that sounds like something I would fucking say. Like, just because it's, like, an awkward it's an awkward moment. I'm trying to break the tension, and I'll just say something really dumb. That's what it fucking felt like. I was like, wow, did I write that line? Yeah. Who's my fucking... There goes my brain again. Oh, I found it funny that the guy who plays Cyborg's dad is the man who, the man who made the Terminators, which I was like, I don't know if it was like was like a purpose, like, kind of like casting, or was it just so happens he just went for the audition and got the job of Cyborg's dad, and it's also like, he makes the machines. So it's like, well, of course, and you made your son into a machine. As long as he's not just like, I thought he was gonna die, and it would just be like, well, there's your fate with, whenever you built machines, you always die, but he's fine. There were times where there was, like, just, like, tonal shifts, like, whoa, like, what was it? And it was, like, some serious moment. Yeah, there was, like, some serious moment, I think, with Diana. I guess, cause I think that was right when, like, the flames of Gondor. Sorry. The flames of Gondor lit up. They're like, Gondor needs our aid. Anyway, when that happened, I think that was it, because they were talking about the news. And then it, like, goes to, a different, like, news channel, and it's like, this woman says aliens stole her husband, and she's like, I don't know that about, like, censoring her, and she's like, I don't fucking know, and it was just, like, this weird tonal shift, like, just out of nowhere, and you're like, alright, Jesus. Whatchamacallit, like, I did see, I think it was, like, a couple things, I saw a couple things online where there were people who were really upset at what Joss Whedon did, and part of me feels like, I don't think you can tell what he did, but at the same time, like, both directors are a little bit different. So you could kind of tell, but again, like, I don't know exactly. So, one, it's like, I feel like with a bit of Joss Whedon's help, it seemed like this movie understood that when things happen at night, it doesn't literally have to be dark, which was great. But it's also, like, it could have just been him getting all those notes from Batman v Superman, like, it's also, like, Joss Whedon does this thing where it could be serious and all this stuff and heartache and blah, 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 but he always slides in, like, a joke, like, good example, of course, is, like, Avengers, but here, they did that a lot. I feel like, again, it also could have been Zack Snyder getting some notes from people saying, like, it's a little too serious, a lot of dark and brooding, and like, just everything's just really serious and super upset, and no one can ever crack a joke kind of stuff. But this one, like, they were able to kind of, like, have a bit of humor to it, like, to break up the tension, or whatever not, and like, yeah, like I said, there were a few times there was, like, weird tonal shifts with some of the jokes, but other times it was just like, okay, it was a good spot for a joke. Again, probably because it worked well in Wonder Woman because it was, like, serious, but then they had their funny parts and all that stuff. Because it's like, what was it, like, after, again, Superman, like, woke up, came back to life, and then he leaves with, I was about to just say Amy Adams, but that's true, with Lois Lane, and then Batman just, like, he's, like, on the grass, he's like, yeah, something's definitely bleeding, yeah, okay, yep, the fact, like, they also made Batman more like a human, even though he is really, like, the only just kind of, like, non-superpowered person there, so he, instead of just all the dark and brooding, like, I just need to, like, work out and I'm angry and I'm Batman, like, which that kind of is part of what he is, but they also, like, motherfucker got jokes, like, just give him a bit of a sense of humor, like, I like that they did give kind of Alfred his sense of humor, the Alfred shade that he always, like, has, when, what was it, like, when Wonder Woman, it's like, oh, she had to, like, meet Cyborg, and he was like, oh, you have a date, it's like, at least someone here has a date, and I was like, damn, it's like, okay, like, oh, that's fine, what else was there, my brain, it's been a long day. I also just ate a lot of food, so thinking, like, Jesus. Like I said, it wasn't bad, like, I'm glad they put in, like I said, some humor in there. And I'm glad that the Flash wasn't just the comic relief, like, he kind of is that character anyway, but there's just more to him, kind of like how in the Avengers, like, Spider-Man is kind of like the comic relief guy, even though, well, with Robert Downey, I'm talking about comics, but, like, in the movies, Robert Downey becomes part of it too, but that's what I'm saying, like, not just one singular character is just the funny guy, like, everyone else got them jokes too, but of course there is one character who might be more central on that. Anyway, like I said, like, I'm fine with it, like, I don't hate it, it's again, like, it seems like they're learning, which is good, and the thing is, it's like, I don't go into seeing DC movies wanting to hate it, like, I really don't, I really want them to do well, believe me, because Batman is my favorite superhero, so I want some good shit, like, Christopher Nolan's not attached to these anymore, like, yeah, it'll say, like, producer and stuff, but that's just kind of like, he's just like, here you go, like, here, like, he's not influencing anything, so it's like, okay, I want you gotta do something good, like, it's getting better, like I said, it's not great, I'm not expecting a miracle, you can't, we're not expected within the same year to have, like, 2 great DC movies coming out, it just, like, it's getting better. It's like, last year, it's like Batman v Superman, then Suicide Squad came out. So it was like, oh my god, and then, alright, this isn't bad, like, I didn't hate Suicide Squad, but I think because I was comparing it to Batman v Superman, and it still wasn't that good of a movie, but then it's like, oh my god, Wonder Woman, it's a great movie, and then this comes out, and you're like, yeah, it's not so bad, like, yeah, like, Aquaman was a little bit on the bro-y side, like the way, well, you could kind of tell, like in the fucking trailer where he's like, my man, alright, okay, where like there's just that random part where he just like grabs like a bottle of whiskey and just like chugging it while huge waves are hitting him, and then just like bam, music just plays, and it's like, alright. Like for a split second I was like, oh god, don't go into that Suicide Squad thing of whenever you just show a character that they have like a different, soundtrack to, like, such like different soundtrack, like I know when you see Wonder Woman, they have like the subtlety of that guitar riff that they have, like her theme, but it wasn't just so like, it's still like music score. It's not like, again, Suicide Squad where it's like, okay, Bohemian Rhapsody, okay, like this fucking song and this other fucking song, and it's like, alright, what I'm saying? Like, like I said, they're a little bit better with their tonal shifts now, but there are some parts where it's still, they're learning, I am glad it's getting better. So hopefully when Wonder Woman 2 comes out and they do, like, I think hopefully if Affleck stays and does a solo Batman movie, because he's fine as Batman, like he's doing well, and when they do all those other like solo movies, all that stuff, like hopefully they just kind of get it, it's like, we're not expecting you to be like Marvel, okay? People of course compare it because it's literally the red versus blue kind of thing, and you guys are like the top tiers, but at the same time it's like, take your time, don't pull a Universal with your like dark universe shit and just think you could just hit it like that, just like take your time, there was like a mid-credit sequence kind of thing. It's just kind of like the thing you saw a lot in the animated series where the Flash and Superman, are like facing off to see who's the fastest kind of thing. So that part was like cute because I think that was a reshoot part because again his lip was starting to again. It was cute. It was just kind of like, oh, like, okay, we'll race. Okay, 1, 2, 3, pew, ah! Rest of the credits, and there was actually an after credit sequence, which I had a feeling, because I think Batman v Superman didn't have it, and I think all their other ones didn't have it, because I don't think Wonder Woman even had it either. But this one they had it, which they didn't need to have it. Mainly because I had to see Jesse Eisenberg again. Because I was like, I know they like just mentioned Lex Luthor, and I was like, okay, I probably don't have to see him again. But then I see him, and then he had to talk, and then I had to hear the Jesse Eisenberg, like, way of like the cadence of Jesse Eisenberg, and like the way how he talks. I don't like how his cadence, how he talks. It just like always sounds like mild panic attack, and it just seems like he's just like that douchebag that you all know that loves to correct every person when they're talking. You know what I'm saying? And so like, it's just like, fucking hell, and of course, like, it's the whole, like, he escaped from prison, and then, like, the only awesome side of it is that you get to see, what the fuck's his face, oh my god, Slade Wilson, what the fuck's his, of course I know his normal name, I don't know his fucking, like, it just, burp, anyway, it's, anyway, Joe Magalhaes is playing him, which I was like, why did they make him blonde? They could have, like, kept that, because Joe Magalhaes right now is getting really salt and peppery. They could have kept it with that, and I would have looked fucking good. But anyway, yeah, so, okay, I have to look up, because, like, it's gonna bother me that I can't believe I forgot his name, because, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Deathstroke, Jesus fucking Christ. I was like, God, it's Deathstroke. I knew it in the theater when I saw, like, the fucking swords and shit and all that fucking stuff. And all of a sudden now I forgot. I was like, it's Deathstroke, Jesus Christ. But you get to see Deathstroke, and that's great. But you had to fucking, maybe I'm fucking Actually, funny thing is, like, when it ended, the guy behind me, like, says to his friends, he's like, just because I had to see Jesse Eisenberg's face, I feel like I just wasted my time. Like, that fucking had me dying, because I feel like that's like, I just immediately just went, ha! Sorry. And their friends, like, laughed too, because I'm like, I feel the same way, because I can't stand Jesse Eisenberg. But anyway, jeez, it's fucking Sunday. Before my camera overheats, let me go into the trailers, which there weren't that many trailers. So first was Den of Thieves, spoke about before. Pablo Schreiber, 50 Cent, Ice Cube's son, the whole robbing a bank, all that stuff. It's, you know, it's one of those movies where you just see a bunch of dudes shooting guns, robbing things. Like, it's just, yeah. It was funny because those people behind me, the girl was like, oh, I don't know about it, like, I don't know. And the guy was like, oh, it seems kind of dumb. And their other friends were like, no, it'd be, like, just fun to watch. Yeah, there was a lot of commentary from them. After that is A Quiet Place, which is, like, this horror thriller thingamajigger movie with John Krasinski and his wife Emily Blunt in this movie. And it looks like, the trailer felt super intense, which I'm like, I'm all for this. Then talk about tonal shift, then it goes to Pitch Perfect 3, which is a different trailer, like a slightly different trailer than I've seen before. Which I'm just like, oh god, because that movie comes out, I think, like, next month, so it's like, just come out already. I'm sick of seeing trailers for this thing. After that was Jumanji. Of course, I definitely want to see Jumanji, because it looks fun. It's fun. It's one of those fun movies. I'm glad it's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Like, I knew it would be fun, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, after that was the Deadpool 2, like, teaser trailer, which was great. The audience was like, yes! Because when it just showed up, and I love it. After that was Ready Player One. And after that trailer, again, the girl behind me was like, I don't know about that. Like, maybe you and the guys can go, which the guys were with him. Maybe you and the guys can go. Like, I don't know. Like, it says, like, pop culture stuff, and I don't really understand. Like, I don't know. Like, there was probably a bunch of stuff. Because, of course, there was, like, a shit ton of references, of course, in the trailer, and there will be a lot in the fucking movie. And she's like, I don't know, I didn't really catch much of it, like, so I think that's it for you and them. The guy's like, oh, no, it'll be fun. And she's like, I don't know. That was actually her voice. I wish I was joking. After that is Rampage, which is another Dwayne Johnson movie. Whoopsie. Yeah, I didn't know it had to do with a fucking huge-ass gorilla. I thought it was just like some other, like, action film he was doing, you know, just because I remember it's, you know, by the people who did San Andreas. I'm thinking it's like, oh, just another action film, because he's Dwayne the motherfucking Johnson, you know? But yeah, when it turns out it's like, oh, he's a big guy, but he's, like, friends with this gorilla, and then, like, chemicals, and now he's a big thing, and things are big, and now instead of vacating California, we've got to vacate out of Chicago, and it's like, alright, and it's The Rock, like, I'll fucking see any movie he's in, because he's the fucking Rock, you know? He made the Fast and the Furious series so much more interesting, you know? I think I saw the second what's it called, G.I. Joe movie, not in theaters, but I saw it just because I wanted to fucking see him, so, like, anyway, like I said, I was about to say Batman vs. Superman, no, Justice League, it's not bad, like I said, it's a rental, it's fine, it could have been a lot worse, because we've seen a lot worse, you know, like I said, I'm not upset, like I said, if I were to, like, super nitpick at it, because of where they're getting the source from, because it is from several spots. Like, I think some of it is New 52 shit, because some of it I'm like, I'm kind of like, I'm just, I guess, you know, and of course there's other stuff from previous things I know of, so I'm like, okay, I'm fine with it, just let's keep moving forward from here, please, okay, DC, so you get a pass on this one. But anyway, yeah, Justice League, it's fine. And, ooh, I have enough time to eat some cake before I, fucking watch Walking Dead. Alright.